Shelly's got bigger balls than anybody here.
And here's the worst part. Are you ready, Timmy? I
What?
haven't thought about it this deeply, but here we go. I grabbed Paul by the neck and I whispered in his ear.
I remember one go-home meeting, and a go-home meeting at OVW was we'd have our TV Wednesday. It would conclude, and, during the Paul Heyman era, he would stand up and go, "Questions, comments, thoughts," and there was something went down with you and him, and you said, "I'm a fungus and I'll grow on you," or some exchange. I vividly recall this happening. I'm going, "Oh, Shelly's got bigger balls than anybody here. Jesus Christ." He's like,
See, this is what I'm
so
saying. Like, so okay, you were there. Tell me, do you remember this?
so I remember it was something where you had done something that he either liked or there was you could tell there was a bone of contention that had happened. And you said, "See, Paul, I grow on you like a fungus." And nobody, this is the days when, Robert Fury, "We need more Fury," and throw the chair against
Okay.
like, so nobody really talked back to Paul like that. And it was a moment that I was like, "Wow, this girl,
Okay.
there's something, oh
So,
my god,"
so what
you know?
happened? Okay, so
So,
what had happened
yeah,
is, um, I don't remember the timeline of it, but there was a show where Beth, Aaron, and I were having a handicap match with Mickey and Chris Cage. And so in it, there was like a flub. It was my fault. It wasn't bad. And like, so when we were at that meeting after the show, and here's the worst part. Are you ready, Timmy? I
sure.
haven't thought about it this deeply, but here we go. It was a lucha move, and I messed it up. Not totally. No,
That's the
I didn't
place
mess it
to
up.
do it.
I just kind of flubbed a little bit. So it didn't look pretty. So after when we were at the meeting, Heyman was like tearing apart the match, saying that because at that time, Mickey was getting, I don't know if she was already on the road or she just had started or she was about to, but she was going to about to be Mickey F and James, right?
Yeah.
So um he was like, "Oh, she's, I'll never forget, he said, "She's the stone cold Steve Austin of female wrestling, and how disgraceful that she had to be in that match," and he was, like, going on, and I now looking back, because I remember when I ever tell the story, I remember really feeling like crap and feeling so defeated within myself, but now that I'm remembering this detail that it was a lucha move, that's deep. That was my moment, right?
Yeah.
Lucha Gal 909. So, the next day, what we would do is Al would review the shows with us and critique everything.
Tape
And
day.
when we watched the match, I was like, "Oh, here we go. God." Like, I had so much anxiety about it. And when I saw the flub, I was like, that's it? Because I remember Al kept assuring me, "The match was fine, the match was fine." And so, because he saw I was beating myself up about it. So, I emailed Paul, and I said, "I watched the match at tape, and I'm really confused on how, like, you thought it was just so terrible because aside from that flub, like, whatever." And so he didn't write me back, and then after that, he totally would just job me out at OVW, not in the ring, but, like, in front of everyone. Like, one time I had a match with Beth, because at this point, we're working against each other, and he goes, "Now Shelly's very inexperienced, so we have to walk her through the whole match." And it would be, like, from point A to point B, like, and I remember I was so mad, and Beth was like, knew I didn't need this, so it's all
Yeah.
a waste of time. And so what I did, I was walking behind Paul, and I was going like this with my arms, and I had a ponytail, and I was letting it slide. So I was mocking him, and when he turned around, I would stop. And then people were watching, so that was like my payback, right? So I started messing with him. Going back to at the time, that wasn't me thinking I'm so over and I can like make fun of Paul. It was me being like, no, a person is a person, and, like, you are mad because I question you. You say questions, comments, suggestions, alternatives. That's what he would say. Because to this day, I do say that. And
Yep,
so
yep.
I got upset. And so that was my way of releasing. And then um I wanna say it was that day that where you're talking about. So now we're fast forward. That's when he was doing the thing. I was doing the thing. It was earlier in the day for the show. Then
You're, like, waddling behind him, kinda
yeah,
doing
and
his
so
deal.
that's doing the deal, and then we turn around I just whatever. And so Beth and I had the match. It was a great match. I loved it. It was short but sweet. Pirate Shelly. And when I went to the back, I kinda had a vibe of like, "Yeah, now what, Paul? Like, did you see that bit?" That's what my
Yeah,
vibe was. And then he still was kind of like acting all snooty to me. And so I said, "Screw it." Everyone thinks like I'm this crazy girl because at that time I had this like one of the worst boyfriends I could ever have. And so Crazy Shelly did come out. So I got this reputation of being crazy. So I was like, okay, I'll own up to it. And so I grabbed Paul by the neck and I pushed him up against the wall. And then what egged me on is and my peripheral vision, I could see Al and he's going, yeah. So like I'm thinking, oh, now I'm being egged on. Okay. And so I had him like this and I whispered in his ear, you like that, don't you? Now you're gonna stop me because I just showed you the like, I can't remember exact words, I was like, "Whatever," and I, like, let him go, and I just remember he was going, and then everyone was, like, looking, and then I walked away, and it was, like, that hallway and that door, and I thought to myself, "Don't turn around, be like the movie." So I opened the door and I slammed it, and then we had the going to what you're talking about. He changed his tune. He goes, "You know, Shelly, her and Beth and da 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 da," and he put over the match as he should have. And then that's when I said the thing about the fungus.
he's
And then he said, I said, "I'm like a fung or I'll grow on you like a fungus." And then
perfect.
he kept going on, and then he said, "Yeah, so, the fungus." Like, he kind of like I forget exactly what he said, but he kinda confirmed it. And
Yeah,
to this day, he calls me his fungus, his
that's so
California
awesome.
fun But going back to my point to you, seeing this right now, looking back in third person, that is absolutely out of line and crazy that I did that. But I wasn't looking at I had enough of lesser than, she's lesser than. And it's like, no, I know I'm supposed to do this. I already did this round with people back in SoCal trying to make me feel lesser than. Now I thought over here, because when the lesser than after me being there and proving myself was still there, that feeling from some people, that's when I started to kind of be stressed out about it in the sense of like, I've already proven to you, like, what more do you want? Like, ew. And then that's when I had some like grievances with some like the girls. And at the time I was thinking, like, what the F are you even worried about? Like, but now looking back, they saw me in the outfits and then blissfully being like myself. So they looked at it me being a sexy, confident lady.
Yeah,
And when they, like I said, they saw how I truly was insecure in my own head, they wanted me to be that girl. You see what I'm saying? These
I
people,
do.
they want me to be looking down my nose and being like, "Whatever," and telling people off, and it's like, no, I tell people off when they need to be told off. I'm not just this, like, loose cannon, and that's why people are afraid of me. That's why I got in a conversation recently, I was like, "That dude isn't afraid of me because like, I'm this hot-tempered Latina that's gonna, like, go, 'Da, da, da, da.'" No, it's because he knows that that's coming to a pushing point, and now I'm not buying your bullshit. Like with
Yeah,
Heyman, it was like, "No, I just had that match after you degraded me in front of everyone. Oh, she has to be walked through it." And I remember Al was like, oh, he was so frustrated because it was wasting everyone's time. And so, but he knew just let Paul do what he's got to do. So in a way, it was like a humiliation. I had enough. I had enough. And that's why it was like, screw it. And because I come from the West Coast and like these people were in locker rooms where that's like, you never would do that a day in your life. I learned more locker room etiquette being in OVW because it was different over here, like you had mentioned. It's just two different worlds. So that me being naive to that is what allowed me to have those moments where I was creating boundaries. I don't care if you're a Paul Heyman. I don't care if you're a Batista. I don't care if you're Shawn Michaels. I don't care if you're Randy Orton. You are a person. I am a person. This has nothing to do with our job right now. You are like, this is something separate. So if you want to go there, and that's the other thing. I, because I was always around dudes, I've always was friends with dudes. That's my default of kind of being straightforward and blunt. And then I thought in the wrestling business that would get me far because it's like handling things how you need to. But because I feel I'm a woman, it's like, oh, the boys can be like that. But the girls, they can't, you can't be like that. And so to me, it's like about respect. If I feel disrespected or you're trying to pull something on me, I'm going to say something. And it has nothing to do with the business brother sister. It has to do with I am a person and you're a person. And if I'm showing you respect or whatever, and you aren't giving me back in exchange, like, no, we're going to have a talk. And that's just how I am. And I am, again, going back to the toxic environment I grew up in where I had no voice. And then this toxic relationship I was stuck in, I had no voice. I developed my voice through my journey of wrestling. And the more I was in it, the more I was like, no, I don't care if this costs me my job. I don't care if this and that, because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I don't think I would have been able to deliver those moments of sticking up for myself because maybe like 3 people my whole life have ever stuck it up for me. I always had to stick up for myself, and I had to learn that. And so, if I'm not gonna do it, who is? And so, that's why all the trouble I've created, um, that's where it was coming from. And now I understand from the information I know and filling in the blanks, the static I've had with people, especially people in the generations before me, my vets. Some of them just never liked me because they thought I was just this smart mouth greenhorn coming in thinking that I'm just whatever because I got big boobs and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, well, they don't know my story. And they don't know that with or without wrestling, this is who I am because I learned through life and like surviving with my relationship with God and me that I'm going to stick up for myself because no one else will. That's what it's about.
Hey, you jabronis. Hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to click subscribe to the YouTube channel and podcast. This has been LiMPiN Ain't Easy. It's wrestling, as real as it gets.